Okay, sorry about the interruption earlier. We are back. This is the current state of the queue. I am going to try to get through everybody who is currently queued. If some people have dropped, we may be able to reopen a little later on. But for the time being, thank you for sticking around, everybody who did manage to come back in. And yeah, sorry, that was sort of an unprecedented 10-minute interruption or so when I did have to cut off very suddenly. Hasn't happened in a long time, and hopefully we'll be able to avoid that. So let's get back into this level by Male64. And Ziggsy, yeah, no worries about having to take off. Everything just kind of got bumped back and ran late. Just from the way things were going. And oops, okay, let's not get sandwiched between the boos once again. Really had to spam that button to get the cooldown to cooperate here. Yeah, depending on the boo positioning and how the player reacts to that, things can get a little bit dicey, but I need to probably hit the on-off switch and then step onto track block to get that push. And then it's going to be an on-off switch past that we can't currently reach, but which, if we stack 2 crates on top of that, I should be able to roll into that this way. I'm guessing that was probably the original intended solution, rather than going back and forth the way I did. Teramis, welcome. Yeah, Teramis, I just had a big sort of disconnection and reboot from my previous viewer queue. If a couple of people have dropped, I may be able to reopen at the end. But even if you're just dropping by to watch, welcome. Hope you've been doing alright. Okay, so this is probably just a series of long jumps. Which means I should not try to carry this. However, you can try to block this, but then there's no advantage to doing that over just doing long jumps, I think. Oh, you were saying that that crate stack wasn't the intended solution either then. Oh, that's fine. I think it's a good alternate solution, or at least feels that way. It absolutely feels like something that could have been designer implemented, so I don't mind that one bit. Yeah, here couldn't quite see the floor as I was descending, but we should be able to make it across, and then... Oh, I see. You can stop that, and we already did to push the thwomp. Stars are going to get you through the thwomps, which sounds like a bad idea. It seems like you probably should avoid the stars here and try to make it to the warp block. I think that's clearly what's being signaled. So, let's try to do that. And in we go. You're supposed to go beyond the cannon and back. Well, the cannon does trap in that location, though. I mean, I guess maybe that's the point of the door, if you thought it was going to be a reset. And you'd need a reset anyway in case you accidentally break the crates. Okay, let's go back here. And... yeah, let's go down. Whoops. Bad idea, let's not do that. And yeah, we want to go down with the track block push. Now, I didn't pay attention to the floor there and whether I would need a wall jump out. Nope. Now, is there a reason to go up top? Well, top of the flagpole, obviously. Looks like there's the icicle rain effect as well, which is also going to consist of real icicles, as well as a pipe that we didn't go in at the very end, which we could actually have explored. But that looks like it might have been an alternate exit towards the flag, so... Thank you for the playtest of Drafty Mansion. Lots more to see, as usual, of course. And let's continue. I'm going to be fairly lenient about clearing people from the queue and with the check-ins, of course, because of the big disconnection earlier, so... we'll just make the first call for Sedimil. Sedimil I kind of feel bad about because we've had to push them back a few times by now. So I want to, just out of curiosity, punch in the replacement code that we were sent earlier anyway, just to see what was in store. I'll type that in chat for anybody who was not around for the previous segment. I'm not necessarily going to play this unless we have a check-in, but... oh, it was removed anyway, okay. Oh no, QYMHWF, okay. Never mind then. Well, if Sadamil does come back, we'll give them a queue skip, probably. And Tojavoid, thank you for coming back. Like I said, we have had a few issues this stream, so... just had to have a hard stop for a couple of minutes. Like I said, I'll be fairly lenient about this. We'll just move one spot forward to Quality Humor, who is here. Or just spoke up a minute ago, so... Anyway, let's do that. The River Styx, come sail away. 0.19%. Well, we'll give it a fair number of attempts. Don't know how well we'll do, but let's see it. And, oh, okay, so that, yeah, P blocks in this level mark the Podoboo locations, so they are to be avoided. Those are definitely not jump markers by any stretch of the imagination, so let's keep that in mind. So far, the platforming itself looks really quite reasonable, so we'll have to think about what the issue actually is when it comes to this 0.19% clear rate. What it is that is presenting such a threat. Let's not jump blindly like that, although if you do, you can actually speed all the way over there, which may be a bad idea because you lose your blaster boat, blaster raft. Yes, Tojavoid, if you ever need to replace something, do just let me know. It will not display correctly in the bot, but I will play the level that you want me to play when you are called up. And just remind me of what the new code is when it is your turn. Yeah, we're very casual about this. We'll play the thing you want me to play, so. And we have lots of people do that, where they kind of queue as a placeholder before the clear check is done. Or some kind of new upload. That happens very regularly. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, let's pay attention. Whoops. Yeah, we went over last time, and of course just went too far forward. 300-second limit on this, which might matter, given that it is a player-controlled camera, not an auto-scroll. But yeah, that's really traditional fare over here. Whoops. Reacted to that poorly. Okay. Keep running to that head first, even though I know it is coming. And in fact, the signaling system is given to you right off the start. on-off switch is also activated right off the start, so whatever conveyor reversal is going on underneath does happen right away, and so you can't really stall for too long. Yeah, so this has got a lower clear rate, but because the queue did thin out a little bit, I will probably take a bit longer to try to push on it. And we'll see how it goes and what the nature of the difficulty checks is going to be as we make our way over. And yeah, like I was saying, if we get everything done in a reasonable amount of time, I will see about reopening. We don't get anything done in a reasonable amount of time, well, that is just known as a normal stream. Okay, you can enter that pipe. I feel like I could also get up to the stack on the left side. Seems like the intention is to enter the pipe, but I wanted to check the top left. Probably a bad idea, in fact. And yeah, Mail64, thank you for coming by once again, and welcome back to a time zone that works better for you. I'm trying to move my start time steadily a bit earlier as well, so hopefully things will become more and more accessible. But we'll see. Scheduling any of my streaming has been pretty challenging lately, so... But yeah, I'm expecting I'll be here a fair bit longer, though. Okay. Kind of trapped myself there. The reason this is such a low clear rate is because the main challenge is screen scroll manipulation. Interesting. Oh, is it just a matter of people not understanding that, then? Well, I mean, we'll see what it is when we get there. Yeah, because the spawning locations, of course, are going to vary a little bit depending on our camera control. So we do need to improvise a bit around the spawn timings, depending on how quickly I'm moving forward. Okay. Not people's main skill. I mean, you can say that out of most things in Mario Maker, though, that, you know, everything is out of somebody's comfort zone to some extent. I mean, some things more than others when it comes to the player base. But yeah, it's true that there are certain concepts where there's going to be a big performance gap depending on whether the player is somebody who knows how things work on the back end when it comes to the making side of the game. And there's so much that we take for granted about player knowledge when it comes to scroll tech, but I think that's certainly part of that category. Let's just enter the... Oh, no. Ah, it drops off right before the pipe. That's interesting. You find hitting the ferryman gives bad karma. Yeah, he's trying his best to row you over. All the way across River Styx. Didn't even pick up those 50 coins to hand to him as a tip. Gratuity for his services. Okay. Let's try this again. Now, okay, let's pop that. No, you can go through. I guess I was just a little bit late earlier. Nope. I just got tugged a little bit and didn't manage to hit the flag. We did eventually get it, though, before any kind of death. Interesting, that really looks like you might be able to go up. No, not enough of a bounce. If you had something like a bone shell, of course, then you could actually jump on top of the fire and project yourself upwards, but we do not have a bone shell, and so that will not be the case. I was wondering when that would come and get me. Okay. Exactly the wrong timing. When I thought I was safe. Okay, whoops. Not okay. But of course we do need to continue on the top level there and probably just keep pace until there's a safe location to drop back in. Oh, it accelerates quite a bit, actually. Yeah, I guess the thing about the Podoboos jumping up is that even though the locations are marked, depending on when you scroll in, you do need to wait a bit for their first visible ascension. So there's a bit of waiting and pullback time as you try to line up to that properly, and whoops. We should at least fix up some of the really basic jumps, though. Okay, let's try this again. Nice short jumps everywhere. We've got to wait this out. Alright, let's do this again. Nope, that's going to cut me off too late, so... Yeah, sometimes, you know, if I don't see the relevant fireball at first, I do need to wait for the first one to come to get a sense of what my timing is, and sometimes I just don't get any kind of timing window to work with at all. That time, at least, I saw it on camera ahead of time. And still not really compensating properly for the forward momentum from riding on top of these blasters, though. And so that is throwing off a few very basic jumps. When it comes to my expectations of where I'm going to land. Oh, no, too late, too late. Okay. That worked out surprisingly well. We'll need to wait for one more. Tried to jump the gun a bit early there. Okay, let's try this. yeah, there's actually quite a lot of momentum control here that you can inadvertently overlook. It is a bit deceptive in some ways in terms of how much you need to correct for just from the blasters moving. You would think it's a very standard sort of moving platform level. In many ways it does behave like one, but watching the fire timings is going to lead to a couple of unfortunate last-minute adjustments. Yeah, that goes up. Yeah, the acceleration here. Oh, no. Once again, didn't know when that was going to come in. I should probably just go for it, but going for it blindly also doesn't necessarily lead to good results. Oh, you just need to jump over that block. Okay, here we are. I wonder if that upper level would do anything for me. Whoops. Doesn't seem that reachable, though. Okay. I should actually be thinking about how to find a really consistent position. Yeah, that little corner there is surprisingly tricky. That's twice now that we've met an untimely end in that location. Whoops. Yeah, like one big fake out in a way as you wait for some of those firewalls to come out and poke you from beneath the lava. You were surprised by this low a clear rate? Yeah. It's... I think it is partly because it takes so long to see the first fireball, in the same way that, you know, with the pipe spawn timings, for instance, being so notoriously slow that when you have piranha plants and pipes, for instance, that's also something that I think leads to a very similar style of death, simply because people need to see the first part of the cycle when the object is active in order to time their way around it, and if it's really kind of massively delayed, then you run into problems. But I can also see why you would be surprised by a low clear rate, simply because everything here is just straightforward traditional platforming, no tricks or anything. Literally just dodging. With a bit of momentum correction on the side. And not bumping into ceilings. Okay, up we go. Speaking of not bumping into ceilings, there we go. Here we are. Oh, missed my opportunity. Okay, here we are. Whoops. Didn't expect to jump that accurately. Okay, up we go. Yeah, I was expecting to bump my head a few times there, and that was unexpectedly clean, and so I was way ahead of my intended pace. Forward we go. And that's another checkpoint. Okay, a little bit faster now. Need to mine the ceilings as before. And yeah, some of the falls here do need to be fairly precise, I think. Or at least some of the jump heights need to be a bit lower. Yeah, the forward momentum can be tricky to maintain here. Because, of course, there's a strong incentive to pull back if you are not confident in your timing in terms of having enough of a landing zone on the other side. If you pull back, you might not get enough momentum to actually make some of these jumps. You don't need to jump up to the one-up, of course. You can just duck underneath. Whoa. That was mostly fine, actually. So in this segment, I don't want to stay too far to the right of the blaster. I actually do want to stay mostly to the left so I can have some decent forward momentum while not being worried about landing on the other side. This being the underworld, you did want to keep some themes and emotions, yeah. Like grabbing the coin here to pay the ferryman at the very beginning, I see. Oh, thought I could actually bop that shell in time, but that was not the case. And of course, when it's sort of in a sinking state, that is going to be out of contact anyway. I can never tell when I see new followers with a lot of numbers beside their names and don't come into the chat. I don't know if they're bots, but thank you for the follow if that is indeed genuine. Okay. Because of course Twitch got hit with a huge bot wave not long ago, and so now everybody's paranoid. Yeah, the forward momentum here feels nice. Oh, we actually did get that bot. Key door at the very end. Wonder what that's for. Yeah. Now that I've played through this, I'm surprised by 0.19 as well. It's tricky, but it's not 0.19 tricky, I think. But again, it depends on your skill set. And I think something that would trick people out about this is that they would be more liable to retry as a sort of traditional player. Whereas, you know, you see some Kaizo levels that have clear rates higher than this, but that's because people who don't know Kaizo tricks would just give up after the first jump. Whereas you can see how with a level like this one, the clear rate would be lowered by people thinking they can totally do this. Oh, I see. Key coin is for clearing from the start because that's what the red coin at the very beginning is for. So I'm probably not going to get the one segment clear this time around, but I'll be quite happy to see at least a part of this. So yeah, I don't know how much there is at the end there behind the key door, but of course there is a secret bonus objective. You had far more problems uploading your clock level, which is almost 1%. Interesting. Anyway, thank you for that. Yeah, I'd actually For some reason, I remember the clock level you're talking about. For some reason, didn't have it click that the clock level was also yours, because I think there was a bit of a gap between that and your next submission. But no, I know exactly which clock level you're talking about. Anyway, let's mark that as a win. Thank you for the GGs. Oh yeah, this was second check for Satamil. Satamil I will probably give a free skip next time they're in, as I said, simply because I've had to push them back so many times by now. But for now, we'll just do a quick remove. And... Toja Void, you're saying the new clear check isn't ready, so we'll just play the code that you submitted to me previously? Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Real trick to that level is listening to Come Sail Away while playing. If it weren't for issues with Twitch copyright detection, I would probably try to show that off. Anyway, here's a Vine Pit. It's 3 seconds, 20%. Surely we're not going to have too much trouble. Maybe the 3-second record is something cheesy, though, so... let's see it. Yeah, we may actually have time to reopen, now that I look at this. Oh, I see, okay. Well, in theory, you can just jump up immediately if you are good about hitting things in just the right way. I guess you create the bridge, then you have to climb the proper way. Yeah, I can see where the 3-second clear is coming from, but also that level is not designed around that. Okay. Lots of opportunities to do spin jumping, of course, if you do want to speed through this. Although I guess part of the issue with having a 3-second world record, if you know how to do the opening segment perfectly, is that there isn't as much incentive to try to play this very, very well. Yeah, this one dropped in a way that was a bit of a surprise, but let's head on up. Climb. Three-star coins in every level you make. Yeah, I should have paid attention to that. I'm usually much more thorough about grabbing optional objectives. Okay. Through here. Boom, boom. Whoops. Oh, okay, I didn't take into account the collision in this style. Let's redo it. And, oh yeah, it's mostly just the chomps that are giving me a bit of extra trouble because of the way that Boom Boom overlays the chomps. So, when we jump on Boom Boom, the idea will be to go towards the center as soon as I can, so we avoid the chomp issue entirely as they come across. We do need to drop into the center anyway in order to eventually hit the key door. Oh, well, he's going to do a spectacular move over there. And I've got 1 out of 3 coins. Yes, I do see that. And up we go. I should have checked the lower level there too, actually, but this is quick enough I don't mind redoing it to try to do bonus objectives, in fact. I do want to check the bottom here. Nothing by the looks of it, but we'll see what that's all about. Yeah, this is a quick enough submission. I really don't mind going back over it. and we'll take a look at some of the optional content you mentioned. Also, I want to see how avoidable this actually is. Okay. I see. No, you need to grab Divine perfectly without hitting your head above it, because then if you do Divine Climb, then that way... Yeah, if you actually do manage to grab onto Divine, then Divine Climb does not activate any blocks on the way up. But usually, you do need to play this the standard way. You like following very specific threads when making threads, but you borrow David Lynch's philosophy in that you never tell the player what those threads are. Yeah. Yeah, from the player's perspective, I mean, you know, I find that sometimes like less experienced makers can be too aggressive about backseating and not trusting the player, when the point of a playtest is very much to show you how I'm treating things, not just in terms of navigating the mechanics and level design, but in terms of what I'm noticing, right? Like you kind of need to know what I'm noticing without being hinted or nudged, because that's something that you will not be able to see directly with other players who are playing this anonymously. Looks like the 50 coin here is accessible just by way of a damage boost. I don't know how I feel about that. When it comes to traditional design, it does feel a bit non-standard in a traditional style level to have bonus objectives require damage. And there was a Buzzy Beetle. Yeah, I guess you could have just projected that one over, so not required damage after all. We just tried an alternate method from being inattentive. Right, because there's a 30 coin, 50 coin, and 10 coin, and we actually have all three accounted for at this stage. Oops. And in fact, we'll need to do that for this next approach, simply because I have already lost my power-up. Okay. Lost that into bit. So yeah, totally doable with the Buzzy. Whoa, that guy almost sniped me the first time too. Alright, let's do the 10 coin and get another clear on this. Okay. And coin, of course, is just over here. Yeah, I mean, the thing about the bonus coins is that you don't really need to do anything special for them except for that one with the Buzzy. It does feel like the 10 coin and the 30 coin at the beginning are just kind of there for the taking, so you don't really feel as much like a bonus route. Not that they need to, but, you know, I think if you're trying to go for an NSMB-like bonus objective placement, you do want the player to be doing something a little bit special for each of those. And Cyphers, thank you so much for the host. I'll give you a shout out in just a moment. Cypher, also a very frequent Mario Maker and other platformer streamer. In with a couple of viewers. Hope everything was fine over there. And it felt like Omi coins and not a bonus objective? Yeah, I suppose so. Thank you for the GGs. Okay, let's mark that as a win. And you wish you could stay, but you gotta head to sleep. Yep, thank you for dropping by anyway and bringing your host with you. And I hope you had a great stream as well. And Seppo, this is going to be your second submission. We'll take it. Sam Yoshi, welcome. Yeah, like I said, if we finish this and Green Heroes fairly quickly, I will probably reopen for an extra round, but we'll see when we get there. In case I spend a massive amount of time on Green Heroes like I did at the beginning of the stream. Anyway. Let's punch in Seppo's code. And yeah, Kerberos, I probably will reopen, but I just don't want to guarantee it yet until I know how we're doing for time. But if you stick around, I think it's likely today. But we'll see. I just want to make sure we get through the standard queue first. And see how we're doing for time when that gets done. So, World 7-4, the Omega Fortress. And yeah, that is a great emote. You know that wall boss from Contra? Now it's much taller. Let's see it. Okay, grab this. And, yeah, Toja Void, oh, I guess that would be your namesake then. That makes sense. Did I just get stuck? Okay, no. Semi-solids are stacked in such a way that they do let you down. And not in the way of disappointing you. Okay, P-switch. And, oh, I guess we just shoot through the wall. Because that's what Red Yoshi is going to do for me here. Red Yoshi's also going to let me take damage and yet survive, which is why we have a 33% clear rate, I'm sure. Also, yeah, donut block up top lets you drop back down between the ground blocks. That's also a bit of block protection. That is quite important there. Let's just lower everything. Okay. That didn't do too much for me. I guess we already got the crush. Oh no, that activates that. Okay, very nice. Phase 2. Not your level, but you really liked your contraptions. Yeah, that's a nice phase transition the way that's done. Yeah, I guess if it's based on sort of kill X, maybe it's something entity-based there, but yeah, because you would be using the standard standard enemy limit for the first transition, and then the Koopaling limit for the second transition, possibly. It looks like it's probably the case, unless it's something based on the blaster stacks, but since you have nothing on screen that is able to spawn for you, like nothing like a pipe or a blaster. So it's probably something blaster based, and could be a seesaw weight, maybe. I'm not really sure, I can't quite tell. It is like something like an on-off switch followed by a big track push that's loading everything. Yeah, really nice phase transition. And the fact that it's also just a pure shooting boss, like in Contra, as the description was saying. That's kind of a nice touch. Gives Red Yoshi something to do for once, which isn't always the case. This is something that's very specific to Red Yoshi too, in terms of just easily firing shots through the wall like this. Is that finally the key? It is not. Do we have another phase? Yes we do. Oh, this time he's brought a gun. That's kind of nice. Bowser just holding that mecha. Like his own little plasma rifle or something. Or electrical gun. Whoops. The creator really did think about the details, and yes, that's true. I should have tried the Konami code. I'm actually kind of surprised I haven't seen the Konami code in some kind of escape room level yet, perhaps. Because it would be possible to build a mechanic that responds to it. Apart from, you know, B and A being functionally equivalent, depending on your control scheme, of course, but wouldn't have been the case, of course, with the original spin jump binding to A. And Electrodude, welcome. If I didn't say that already. Anyway, phase transition. Okay, here we go. Yeah, very interesting to see this. In terms of how the whole stack gets moved in. Because you can hear the on-off toggle in the background, of course. And here we are. Okay. I'll shoot a bit more. Lowers the whole boost stack. And here is the next phase. Okay, going to play this a little bit more cleanly, and then we'll move into the railgun phase. Pretty dynamic too for something that is a bit of a projectile spam fight in terms of the player's interaction. You really do need this kind of variety to make that kind of shooting mechanic interesting, I think, in the context of a Mario Maker boss fight. Yeah, really quick phases all around in terms of what you need to do, and so lots of room for variety. Whoa. Yeah, we'll just jump over. I think that's the righter thing to do if we can actually do it. Bad idea. I realized there I was going to be trapped. Okay. Now here's the thing. What happens if I only remove the spinies for the moment? I think I know how this works, actually. If it's almost kind of like a... Well, I'm looking at the way that the various blasters are offset, and I guess it's supposed to just open up a passage for perhaps something like a shell that is going to get that on-off activation. Not entirely sure, but it is neat. Anyway, we'll sit here and pelt him all day long. Okay. It's going to move up. And this phase is fairly straightforward. It is just a bit of a tutorial phase before you get into the real meat of the battle, which is Bowser cuddling his pet mecha. Going to see soon enough, of course, if we have another phase after this that really uses up the whole Bowser limit. And yeah, we'll just pelt him some more. Whoops. This could be going slightly better. Well, some pretty close shaves there when I was dodging everywhere. Yeah, we'll just try to go nice and high towards this. Find opportunities where they present themselves. Okay, just need to dodge this fairly carefully and get as many shots in as I'm able. Oh, bad idea. Okay. Pretty close calls all over. The crouch shot here is not the worst idea. There we are. It broke. No, I don't think so. Yeah, look at this vine up here, too. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, that's just the ending screen when you get projected upstairs. And we could try to go over, but we'll take the lift the standard way instead. Oh yeah, the first two Bowsers at the same time. Okay, so... Wonder what was going on there. Thank you for the GG. And yeah, I'm just looking at how things are loaded in. There is a bit of an artificial camera lock using custom scroll, no doubt. And I'm thinking about how you're scrolling forward into that zone, but you can kind of see on the bottom half how the various parts of the stack are reloaded in. And the rest is track magic. Yeah, you scroll forward, everything's been preloaded, and then just a matter of switches going back and forth until everything gets pushed up. And Quality Humor, you're heading out. Yeah, thank you for dropping by for so long and for staying past the unfortunate break that we had earlier. Green Heroes, let's do the second one here. Like I said, at the end of this one, I'll see if I can reopen. I will probably reopen for Kerberos, and I might just reopen only for people who had not previously submitted today. But let's continue the Homestuck mini-series here. This will be back to the speedrun format after those navigational issues that we had with the last one. Through wind and shade, the mail must be delivered. Same composer once again. Now we'll see if it's a big segment before the music this time, but looks like it might be. Oh, lots going on with this switching mechanism here. Oh, eventually it does drop you down to the Master Sword, of course, for the musical extravaganza. Let's not do that. Okay, lots going on here. Let's go up. Well, not like that. Boom Boom keeping something loaded there. Four coins are available. Let's see what we can do. Big scroll break location on the right side, very conspicuous. And one coin to the left. Okay, SMB2. SMB2 is going to give me snowballs. That's a really important thing to remember. Yeah, I guess this is a power-up check of some sort. That's if it's not a mushroom when you're coming in, then things are quite different. Oops. Interesting. Yeah, I guess we have access to that even if we've lost SMP2 then for the thing that we need it for. On. Okay, that's a collection of 2 coins now. This looks awfully suspicious. Whoa. I probably shouldn't have hit that one rather than the ones on the side. Okay, poor timing on my part. Anyway, let's try this again. SMB2. Not yet. Don't. And through the same kind of area that we saw. Oh, whoops. Let's compensate for ice. Okay, gonna pop this. Junebug, I may reopen very shortly. This is the last level in the current queue. I might reopen the queue for people who have not yet been seen on this stream. So do stick around. We had one person request that already, of course, but I have to see how much time we have at the end of this one first before I make further decisions or announcements about that. Okay, back here. Take this. Now, what was this about? Yeah, that looks vaguely familiar. No, let's not do that. Let's just climb. Deal with the thwomp later. Anyway, that's going to give me the spiny hat at long last. And force me to pluck the cloud. Yeah, lots of back and forth between main world and subworld as we get all that done. And yeah, block's gonna push you over here. Guess that's just gonna be a straight reset. Yeah, because we need one additional coin. Just thinking about where that might be. The audio is delayed. Yeah, we'll fix that quickly. Thank you for letting me know. Wow, it is quite severely off, in fact. Now, one moment, we'll fix it. Yeah, we had a fairly severe issue earlier today that I actually needed to disconnect the stream for. Hopefully that at least has been sorted out. I was here already. What was I doing? Yes, okay. Fuzzy beetle down there. Oh, I don't quite know what that's for. Ah, here's the coin. And we can. It sort of looked like familiar territory, but we'll bust this down. And Snowball will do this trick. Spiny hat is necessary for that. Of course, we managed to shortcut up to that earlier. And vines are in everything specifically to prevent too many spiny hat shenanigans. Now, this got lowered here. No, it doesn't matter. Or does it? Okay. I guess this will be so some kind of toss. I heard something. Vine spawn on the left side. Interesting. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. How do I reset this? See if we can find a reset point. Oh, he's behaving just a little too quickly when it comes to spawns like that one. Well, yeah, we can wrap back around. And yeah, that block is disabled, but we can actually switch zones somehow. Just looking at what else we can actually take with us here. Well, key death. Yeah, I noticed that. I'm thinking about what to do here. Yeah, I think this block can be a problem here. I mean, I know the idea is very much to climb through gently without running into this. But not soft block. I don't know why I keep trying to pick things up. I'm not in SMB2. As I too readily forget. Yeah, no, we can just continue. Wrap around some things. Oh, I guess we can't continue and we just die in the Thought Pisces. Anyway, here's the big mechanism. What does the P-switch even do for me? It allows me access to this. Oh. Whoops. Nope, I was hoping to... I hit that block over here. I guess we'll just wait for the P-switch to expire. We'll see what this is. Okay, more or less as expected. And that shortcuts that coin. Rather elegant fashion. And what, the condition? No, there's no condition. Just thinking out loud. Well, let's see. I know, one-way panel, I keep forgetting. Well, let's see here. Can't enter that pipe. Did I get into a locking situation again? Well, no, I got into a dying situation that's different in a subtle and important way. And yeah, I know how to rather quickly get the other two, so... Seen that. Well, now we exit. Whoa. Fuzzy Beetle here trying to pull stuff. Yeah, this is all built with the expectation that you come in with the on the switch. Hang on. SMB2 mushroom, and then... let's see here. If you activate the P-switch, then I can't actually do much. See an on-off switch. And Anyway, let's wait for this to pass. And yeah, we'll see what's going on with any of that. Seeing something interesting in a bumper, you say? Keep an eye out. Most of them are empty, not all. Oops, totally missed. Bad start. But of course we can just replenish SMB2 down here, not a big deal. Please wish, does it do anything for me? And you just got world record, congratulations. Oops, should remember not to stand there. Let's grab this once again. Okay. We can go up to the one-up mushroom. That seems like relatively underexplored territory. No, except we can. We can go through here, though. Okay, we'll just wait for an expiry. Oh, whoops. Lost it right away. Let's grab another one. You see a block, yeah. I think my vision of the board here is kind of fading. Let's pop this. Enter this one with the P-switch active. Let's see if that does anything. Yes, it does. It lets you go through here. And here we are, music time. Almost? No, not quite. Now it should drop you. When I see required checkpoints like that, I do often wonder about the clear checking process, but no, we're obviously fine here, having been dropped in directly. Okay, so we get to listen to that track. We'll probably get to listen to it again. With some minor but important variations. Yeah, neat little bit with the POW stacks at the end, of course. This is going to take you past all of these sledges. Threatening you, just a little bit out of range, though. And we could do this. No, we can't. Have to read those one-way panels from time to time. And there we go. And here's the GG. Okay, so I will do a very quick reopen only for people who have not been played so far. So that's Kerberos, Junebug, and whoever else may be here. I will be closing again immediately afterwards, so I'll just be taking one bonus round. So just give me one moment. Do get your codes ready. And regardless of the order, that you enter things in Kerberos is going to come in first, because that was the order of request earlier. Kerberos, Junebug. Okay, I'll type in the first code up and down, clearly amazing. And then I will close once I've punched that in, so that's how we'll run things. Oh, also, we'll mark that as a win. Sorry about that, Green Heroes. Let's mark that. And Green Heroes, I don't know if we'll have time to get to your last one. I'll try to do so, but can't guarantee that one. I do want to at least get through to ones from people who were not in earlier. Larry's Railland version, or Version 1.0.1. And oh, I did this in the wrong order, didn't I? Or, yeah, no, sorry, Kerberos is first. I messed up. Hang on. Yeah, no, I messed up. Yeah. Was thrown off a little bit because of managing Green Heroes just a moment ago. GTG. Got to go. Up and down, clearly amazing. Having fun with 3D World as always. Alright, let's close back up. Let's play the remainders. And this is from just a few weeks ago, back in October. Let's see it. Reached a goal without landing after leaving the ground. Yeah, let's see how we do. Ah, okay, more cars. I see, so it's a dodge the car level. I see. I understand that. Nice of that Pokey to give you a hint at the very start. From bouncing back and forth. I will, of course, need to improve my timing a bit here. Oh. Let's try to get across here. Very neat concept. And there we are. Yeah, as you pop out, the collision is slightly generous. Okay, so you do need to watch out for certain things here. I guess you need to let... Okay, I was about to say let the fire road jump. Luckily, the spike does not actually kill you because it's just a blocking piece. Very important to know that. Pits, on the other hand, are going to be trouble. Whoa, okay. That is also going to be trouble. And yeah, you need to use the cars to your advantage. This is a very neat use of the car, actually. In terms of using it to deliberately clear space, which is something that you kind of need this style of clear condition to make it work. Most of the best car levels I've seen involve using the car kind of like you would normally use Yoshi or the boots. In that you would be using it as a platforming element to give you an extra mid-air jump. In terms of actually using the car as a clearance tool, this is definitely one of the more focused implementations I've seen. As far as I can remember, anyway. And yeah, if the car is not just outright charging at you, you can pop out from under it and live, it seems. Whoops, kind of missed that. You need to go a little further to the right of that U in order to get the Koopa car within range of killing the Fire Bro on the right. Oh, whoops. Should have remembered that guy. And yeah, love how the U-bend over here pulls the car a little further to the right to get that piranha kill. You're saying that Key Death, Green Heroes, was involved in your speedrun. Interesting. As in, you actually have to take the death and get a faster time than in the single segment? Oops. Yeah, that's sort of interesting. And something that would be comparatively difficult for a speedrunner spot, perhaps. Unless they have a really good mental map of how the key mechanic is going to work. Dying with a key as quickly as possible is faster, I see. Okay, it's the timing. Come through here. Nope, not quite. Oops. Have to be a bit more cautious here. Yeah, that's why your clear check time would not be the theoretical record time. I totally get that. I'm gonna reposition these guys. I feel like I'm kind of stuck here at this point. I do want them traveling in the same direction. Yeah, that did not look winnable. These two just crashing their vehicles into each other, hoping to pinch me. Don't try that at home. These are professional drivers on a closed course. And yeah, I was thinking that too, that the collisions don't work the way they do when I am in the driver's seat and chipping away at the bodywork of the automobile one part at a time. You do need to trigger them both, I think, but doing so while getting within range of activating the one on the right is perhaps going to be a bit tricky. All these things I didn't think about when I had cleared this segment earlier, because that actually went so smoothly that time. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I don't want to take that every time. Once the piranha is dead, I want more control over my return timing, and that means taking the shorter pipes. In general, in fact, I want to take short pipes whenever I can, just so I can have a very responsive bounce back. Okay, here we are. Like I said, a bunch of shorter pipes. There we are. And then we'll try not to die to too much stuff here. Very kind of that thwomp to give me that push. Give that Koopa the push, rather. Now, this is kind of a boss segment in that you need 3 hits on Boom Boom while avoiding fire. Whoop. Boom Boom is going to take a bit more punishment than that due to the shell phase. Yeah, doing 2 entries like that seems best. In fact. Yeah, I've seen a lot of timed pipe entry levels, but usually involving things like playing around the lava level, for instance, to enforce the moments at which you need to be invincible. The neat thing about this level is that it works with a couple of different elements that are typically difficult to do elegantly as a maker in terms of not just needlessly frustrating the player. Mostly things involving this movement pattern with the cars, and also this clear condition, which I think is, despite its popularity, one of the harder ones to kind of work into a good design. And so it turns out when you put those elements together, you have all these different parts that work together very well to create a very cohesive central mechanic. You know, using the car and the clear condition in tandem with each other. And that's the other thing too, is that like it's hard to get use out of the Koopa car's standard behavior. And a lot of players won't necessarily even try that. As I was saying earlier, a lot of the best car levels I've seen in the past just dispense with the Koopa outright. In the same way that people will often try to set up stumps without chomps or boots without Goombas or anything like that. You know, just to get some of these complications out of the way. Very kind of a car to block my head that time. Whoops. That was a mistake. I just instinctively went for it. And yeah, it's totally understandable why most people hate the Koopa car. It's got a lot of interactions that create a loss of control for the player, and I think that's what frustrates people about it. That, you know, you have that stun when you run into something and take damage. You have this kind of directional movement here that's got this huge skid on either end. Changing directions is something that feels slow. It is difficult to make it work. So, when you do see it come together like this, that's why levels like this are kind of particularly uncommon. Whoops. But yeah, like I was saying, this specific combination of mechanics is not one I've seen before. Whoops, try to do the same kind of thing I did before with bumping my head against the car from the bottom. That doesn't work all that well as an approach. We should probably not rely on that. Okay. Let's take the short pipe here. This one seems to work pretty well. You just kind of hold down into it to have an instant return into that pipe after that first entry. Okay, Thwomp over here is going to give me the benefit of a nice push on that Koopa. And now, let's not choke. That was perhaps a bit riskier than necessary. I actually think the clear condition works fine for this level, because you get a chance to scout in practice. Not that I've been doing it. But the thing about the clear condition here is that, of course with the drawback of not having checkpoints for people who care about that sort of thing, it's very clear from the start what to do with it. Usually the clear condition is a pain because, you know, you're expected to just get lots of movement right away, and the card that shows you the text also covers half of the screen, and things are difficult to read. Yeah, but here, like, if you're doing something based on a super global detector, I mean, you can kind of create a bit of a tutorial zone or whatever, but if you don't do that, players are likely going to find out about the mechanic by dying on the first attempt. Like, they'll have to find out the hard way. Here, it's immediately clear what's going on. And I don't mind trying to redo this in terms of consistency so far. Like, I think the length is pretty appropriate from what I've seen, especially if Boom Boom is already close to the end. As may be the case. Whoops. Because you can get a reliable method for each of these segments, it's just that I'm not quite doing it. Now, let's get over here. Okay. Shouldn't have slowed down there, I should have just gone for it. And yeah, that's the thing about this kind of difficulty tuning that I do appreciate, is that it is something that you can find a good pattern for. Like, you can find methods that work for you, and which you can repeat somewhat reliably, even though I'm not demonstrating that very well. There is even some cheese somewhere, but you won't spoil it. Jinbug is going to request Toad. We'll do that. Okay, get over here. No, bad idea. Shouldn't have gone down that time until I had triggered both. If you triggered both, I should actually take the medium pipe after that, rather than the shortest one. So I have a little bit of time to let the cars get around. Yes, there are certain strategies I'm aiming for that should work, and which I'm just kind of missing, even though I know what I intend to do. Oh, whoops. Standing in the middle there. Oh, great. And yeah, Green Heroes, I'm somebody who often finds that I'm certainly in no position to be too critical of long levels that have clear conditions, given that that was actually the first thing I created in this game before I realized how little patience people actually had for clear conditions or lack of checkpoints. And secondly, because as I said before, I do value that kind of difficulty design, and I think it's a little bit underrated in the Maker community. You know, like consistency-based interactions over really long stretches. Like, I mean, I enjoy playing that, right? So, and I prefer that over having spikes everywhere, for sure. No, I think this is actually one of the better uses of this clear condition. Okay, let's go for that thwomp. Okay, poorly timed there. I thought I'd be able to get the spike ball across. Alright, let's try to get this. Yeah, when they're spaced apart like that, maybe I should have gone for the short one. Drag that guy all the way over. The purely aesthetic horizontal pipe over here is kind of a nice touch as well. So you're just kind of walking over glass the whole time, even though that's not really a functional pipe that you can enter. Like this pipe right here, the horizontal one. Oh, whoops, once again, just off-center. Okay, there we go. But yeah, definitely if you wanted to make a longer level that would benefit from a checkpoint but use a very similar mechanic, that's certainly one solution. Okay, there we go. That's how to do it. Right pipe once, and then next short pipe over to the left. Seems pretty ideal. And yeah, the super global stuff in 3D World is pretty handy, pretty crazy too. I should just go under the fire piranha directly. I don't know why I'm hanging around those pipes. There's no need to. I should be able to get out of its diagonal range with the fireball, so... same mistake. And yeah, Green Heroes, I know which video you're talking about. With some of the track block preloading tech that Luke was showing off a while ago. A lot of that stuff is still way underused. Lots of conceptual possibilities that have not really been explored yet. No, once again, off-center. I was trying to enter that short pipe. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I had the first car turn around a little bit too quickly that time. So the spacing was a little bit off what I was hoping for, but it worked. Yeah, why don't I just do that? Skip this guy entirely. It's very tempting to duck, of course, and that would be incorrect. Of course, you do need to spawn the next spike ball, that's why. That's why. You can't just camp. But you can camp for a while anyway, because the thing about Boom Boom is that you need to give him a chance to recover before you can hit him a second time, so... Okay, over we go. Also, the cheat code of using black hole glitches to put in a checkpoint with a clear condition. Yeah, I mean, if you don't want Nintendo to keep your level, or just don't care. I should keep up with glitch levels more so I can download them in advance and show them off on stream, even if they have been deleted. You know, just for the sake of having some video content that people don't ordinarily see. I had been doing that with some of the stream warm-up levels in the past, in fact. Just grab like a teleport Uno must or something to start things off right. Whoops. We can totally beat this. Oh, whoops. Off center once again. Okay, bad idea. Let's not take that one. It is specifically timed to make that a bit troublesome. It's sort of interesting to have little pockets like that that are usable for one purpose, but not so wise for the other purpose. Whoops. Too soon. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing about glitches, I think, is that setting up glitches in a way that is understandable for the player in terms of activating them, and also kind of fair in a playable way, that's tricky, and encouraging the player to actually create the correct interaction depending on their inputs. I should not go for that pipe. I'm too dependent on that U pipe. It's not the one I should be going for. Too soon, once again. Okay. Whoa. Sure, we'll do it that way. Works for me. It feels much fancier to do it that way, so that's how it's going to be. That was too risky. Let's not do that. Okay, fireball angle is safe here, actually, in the central location. Like, if you're standing here, fireball's not going to hit. That's a much, much better method. Now, of course, once Boom Boom is out of the way, you need to go through Boom Boom's area. Just need to stay relatively focused here. Okay, Boom Boom's out of the way. Need to lead. Oh, whoops. Didn't see the thwomp at all, actually. I was thinking there would be something going on there with leading a spike ball, and I didn't even notice the thwomp on my way up. Okay, that's fine. This is also fine. Not too concerned about it. As long as I don't miss the pipe entries. Yeah, once again, it helps that the red spike is not really a threat. If there were additional spacing there of just one tile, then yeah, it would be a problem, but in the absence of that, we're fine. There's cheese on a Boom Boom fight. Probably. Like in terms of getting past him or getting damage on him? Getting past, I would imagine. Yeah, because if it hits, like a Boom Boom is in the freshly hit state, you should be able to go through him directly. Anyway, here's Thwomp. Thwomp's gonna crush everything, and oh, whoops. Forgot about the slow rebound speed, creating a problem there where the pipes are too short to be survivable. Since it does give you a second bounce back that detects an impenetrable wall, and which therefore prevents you from progressing. Yeah, pretty important to be consistent here. No, once again, off-center. Overshooting a bit of everything. There we go. Yeah, this I should not be failing on at this point. Okay, go for the thwomp. Stand on the safe zone. And we just need to watch the spike ball. Until Boom Boom is safely out of the way. Okay. Almost there. That gets rid of the boom. And we'll go through this way. Oh, long stretch over here. Whoa, okay. Clipped on a corner there. That's okay. I think everything up to that point is not going to be too difficult to recreate as long as I'm not off-center all the time on the vertical pipe entries. Okay, at least they didn't decide to squish me that time. This segment is getting better and better. Very reliable. This one I now have a method. Yep, just going to stand dead center. Not panic too much. And watch for that score indicator on Boom Boom when he is officially down for the count. Okay, there we are. Again, going to watch ourselves with some of the positioning here. Also, there's a spike ball following me. I need to be aware of this. And once again, too many entrances with the slow thwomp. Nope. Yeah, slightly different reversal positioning on the first car once again. That time. You do need to be pretty consistent about the pipe you pick, simply because of that. Okay. Here we go. Close call there from having lost a bit of speed at the very start. And yeah, let's not get followed and pressured by a spike ball this time around. We'll let one lead before I go up the pipe. Otherwise it does have long-term consequences. the rest of this section. Let's wait until Boom Boom is down. Should be 2 more shots, just because the first one will get deflected off of the shell form. Now, instead of just going for it right away, we'll wait for 1. Then we follow. Great. Once again, I have to watch out for the slow retreat on the thwomps. And then the pipe length on the next set of thwomps. Yeah, I shouldn't have activated them both at once, actually. That was maybe a big part of the issue there. Okay, no repeats on the GG segment here. Now, where is this going to pop me out? Oh! Wall jump at the end. Okay, no. It is a wall jump at the end. I just didn't think about the fall as counting here. Because it is just a fall, so. That's okay. Small adjustment. Bit of a twist. But I think we can get back there without too much trouble. Okay, everything here is fine. And yeah, it just comes a little bit suddenly when it comes to reacting. I don't mind the idea of a level with this kind of clear conditioning, a clear condition ending with a jump of some sort that doesn't hit the ground. It's just that it happens so quickly when it comes to the visibility of not knowing where the pipes will spit you out. That's probably the main concern, just not much reaction time. Because it does take people, I think, a moment to adjust to the fact that a level with this kind of clear condition will require a jump at the finish. Also, because I guess I've been streaming for long enough today that my reaction time is going to be a bit slow. Anyway, wow, I was off-center. Okay. Alright, let's try it again. Dying to the simple stuff when I thought it was home free. Off center once again. Sliding too far. Okay, that's done. Yeah, you can get this to behave pretty consistently as long as you're on target. And yeah, Junebug, thank you for bearing with this as the person next in queue who has seen me come so close. And yeah, in my case, as I was saying, it's not a matter of forgetting about the clear condition. It's more that at the end you sort of have to adjust to wall jumping without failing the clear condition, and that's just sort of two things that you need to process in a very short span of time. As you break out of that mindset of keeping your thumb off the jump button the whole time. Okay, that is the last hit. Let's go through here. Follow this up. Oh, no. That's okay. Salvageable. Okay, let's pop out slightly to do this. There we go. Very smooth. Once again, for the next segment here, we'll try to split the two thwomps apart. And the Splinty, yeah, we're doing fine. I had a big interruption / disconnection earlier on, but that was a while ago, and we're coasting along, as we've been doing ever since. Getting quite close to the end, though. This is the second last level I'll be doing today. Here we go. That's to clear. Yeah, excellent level. Great car concept. And I do like how smooth everything felt by the end when you have a chance to learn some patterns, but the patterns are also not strict. Like, you do need to create your own tactics when it comes to things like the pipe selection and timing, and so very flexible kind of level. I was so far off the record too. Like, look at how much better the record is. I mean, I guess you could save a lot of time on a Boom Boom fight if you do go through Boom Boom during the moment when he's in his hit state. But that's not going to save 50 seconds, right? 50 seconds, that's quite a lot of material that's coming from elsewhere, and so huge record there. I kind of wonder about the clear check time. Yeah, that beats the clear check time, but not by that much. Junebug, thank you for your patience. We'll grab you next. Oh, I guess there was the Green Heroes level at the end too. I don't know if I'll have time for that Green Heroes, but let's see Junebugs first and we'll decide. Larry's Railland, version 101. Mario has gone to Larry's castle to save Peach, and Larry is not happy. Not happy at all. Okay. Oh, just need to stay on track over here, in a very literal sense. I feel like Propeller is going to be a bit of a trap for me here if I stay in the sky too long over fast-moving skull platform if we get back to the blue skulls later on. Audio delay once again. Yeah, I'll fix that on the next attempt. Actually, I'll fix that now, sure. It is your level. Let's make sure you get some proper footage of it. Okay, should be better now. Whoa. I mean, I guess I could use the propeller to grab those coins there. That would be the general idea. Oh, whoops, no. That, of course, leads me to think, do I get anything by spinning up here? Not likely, I guess. Oh, maybe so. Ah, okay, just a different drop height. That's all there is to it. Okay, propeller at the checkpoint. That's nice. Nothing up here but ceiling, though. Whoa, lava's going up. Let's keep that in mind. Okay, we're going to have an aerial fight here. But is Larry just going to drop off for me, or... Okay, this section, I think that usually when you see a Koopaling fight, you sort of expect Koopaling's going to drop a key. It's actually uncertain for me whether that's going to be the case, because if I have the propeller, I can just activate everything and go, right? And I don't know until I'm further along, whether I'm going to need a key off Larry, which is a problem right now because A, lava level is rising, and B, as you can see, he has not joined us for this section. I think the lava level is rising. Let's check this. Oh, yeah, and he dies. But then now the problem is staying on a track. He clearly just died to lava. So yeah, if I wait, I let him drown. Of course, the only reason I know that we're going to have lava come up is because you show me in the checkpoint room, which is fine. Yeah, conceptually, it's not a bad fight if you want Larry to follow you up. But obviously the issue is that you can just lose him entirely, and lose the platforms too if you're going to stick around here too slowly. So, it's an ambitious idea, just needs a bit of cleanup, I think, to actually work reliably. I almost wonder if it's an idea that works better if the lava comes sooner and the tracks are less tangled. Maybe. Just to remove any uncertainty off the start. I mean, I do like how this early horizontality of the tracks does make for a cleaner Larry fight in terms of having lots of platforms for him to go between as you work your way up. Whoops. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say without a lot of experimentation, of course, to see what balances out. I do think it's a bit of an issue that you can lose them so easily. Of course, I didn't see exactly what happened, and you'd have to review the video footage for that, but... But yeah, I do notice that with the propeller, it's really easy to just outpace him by having him fall on a lower platform and going up to a higher platform that you activated much earlier. If you know what I mean. Like, if you send a platform up really high, and you leave Larry down low, and then you use the propeller up, then there are problems. I mean, I think for a vertical ascent like this, it does make sense to use the propeller as power-up just because it would get you to safety. But as you can see, even without the propeller, we're having the same thing here, where I just let him hang out down below and just kind of do normal platforming from here. Because I think there would definitely be some players who look at this and think it's just broken. And so... in terms of solving it, I'm wondering if I can think of a good way to do it. Like having some kind of catch-up mechanism to keep Larry loaded onto the screen. And he's been caged. Yeah, like I said, I like it conceptually. It's just that the boss fight is fairly easy to outrun, and so it is a bit of a clarity issue, I think. Thanks for that. Green Heroes, let's look at one last one. I won't pick anything too elaborate, I don't think, but we'll do one more as a closer. So yeah, ideally something relatively quick. But what is this? 2%, 1 minute 26. Amongst the heat and clockworks, a swordless knight grind for a new weapon. Well, that's a bit of an open space right now in my clears. Let's do it. And that will be the last level today. Oh, there's going to be music auto-scroller. Something I famously have trouble with. Well, maybe not famously, but something I know I have trouble with. But that's okay, we can rock out to this partially loaded introduction as we die in some of these early attempts. Yeah, I have to pull back on a lot of these jumps, but we'll figure that out. Cutting too much momentum there. And yeah, thank you once again, Junebug, for coming by. Yeah, a lot of jump control here, in fact. Well, good of those blocks to give you a sense of where the next landing is going to be before you see it. Whoops. Not quite. Oh, okay. I saw Boom Boom coming, but it felt like I was a bit ahead of Boom Boom's timing. In that, I guess I was expected to do just a full jump towards the marked P blocks there. Because it seemed like I was leaping right into Boom Boom as he was spawning towards me, and it may just be a matter of being expected to jump to the marker. Oh, whoops. Got dunked. I've been looking at that note block a few times thinking if I would ever get dunked by that, but the answer is yes. Whoops. And yeah, that's quite the bonk. And that's also a bonk. Didn't quite fall into that one accurately. Okay. Yeah, I guess the E-blocks are encouraging me to go forward, but I do actually need to pull back a little bit. It's a very subtle adjustment as you fall there, where you need to pull back and then push before you land. So, I mean, this level is pretty much all jump control. All jump control under mild time pressure. Okay. No, once again, a little bit late there because I was pulling back a little bit in anticipation of Boom Boom. Tricky spot, but we'll see what we can make of it. Whoops. Okay, not quite. And yeah, I needed to use some of that conveyor momentum to stay low. That was just a bit of a poor reaction from seeing that for the first time. Also, don't know if I was already a little late on Boom Boom. That might have been the case, given the lava level at that point. Yeah, it is a bit of an awkward spacing, I think, over that row. But we'll deal with it. Same kind of adjustment as elsewhere in the level, just pulling back at the right places. Not quite. All right, here we go. Pulling back a little too soon that time. As I get into the entry point to Boom Boom. Yeah, once again, had to pull back and do a bit of an adjustment because I had a poor landing. Not much room for error for that to happen. Much cleaner. Okay, no. Auto-scroll boundary caught me a little off guard that time in terms of what I was aiming for. Well, it seems like we've got lots more to go. Nope. Thought I could go straight for it. That was not the case. Yeah, I don't know how well the bit with Boom Boom actually works in terms of visibility. Because it seems like there's a lot of variance to the player's position going into that in terms of where you're going to be relative to the auto-scroll when you jump. And so even if you know Boom Boom is coming, it's difficult to plan that, because if you are there at the platform just before Boom Boom a little too early, for instance, you do need to cut momentum to wait, and that could make you potentially fail the jump. So if you go directly, you just get ahead of Boom Boom entirely. So that specific element seems a bit troublesome, just with the way Boom Boom is set up. You would think that this kind of thing would be very consistent with auto-scroll behaving the way it does, but there's quite a range to how far the player can be at that time, when the spawn timing actually matters. Okay. Through we go. Yeah, once again, I probably should let him land, but it's caused me to go a bit late before, so. Let's see if we can make it work. Whoops. Of course, like so many jumps in this level, it may be a matter of just taking a jump and pulling back. All right, here we are. Yeah, but if you pull back a bit, as you can see, you lose too much momentum, so. I think I'm just going into that jump too early for whatever reason. But it's one of those situations where slowing down definitely feels like a bad idea. Yet it does seem like I'm getting in too fast. So we'll see. That time it worked. And a little bit of adjustment room here too, which is nice. Okay. Could have entered that if I hadn't done a bit of a hop right at the end. Okay, and now the instruments are going to pick up a bit. And down we go. Classic kind of Green Heroes multi-chorus setup. As we hear more instruments loaded and more variations come in. Yeah. Nothing for me to hit. Oh, okay. Now that's interesting. Oddly enough, seems more reliable than a bit in the first part. That's right before a checkpoint, though, so we'll see. Lantis, welcome. Welcome back. Yeah, quite a nice track too, this one. And also a bit more flexible about losing a bit of time on the auto-scroll and catching up. Wow, look at that bounce. And Vendel is, yeah, thank you for letting me know about the game sound, because of course as a music level that does matter. We've had my sound bug out a few times today, unfortunately, and I'm trying to keep that under control, so just give me a moment. And yeah, I was, of course, too busy looking at that bounce. Now, hopefully, sound issues are going to be stable for at least the rest of this level. It is a music level. We want to hear it properly in the recording. You hear it now? Good, good. Hopefully we didn't miss too much of it in the earlier segments when it cut out. Anyway. Yeah, we got to bounce off one of the falling note blocks in the beginning of this section. And boom boom, yeah, I needed shorter bounces under the short ceilings. That's part of the point. K2 Hedge1, welcome. Hope you've been doing well. Okay, here we go. And yet that bounce takes me directly to that spike being crossed by the thwomp. Very fancy bounce, just doesn't really get me results. And yeah, if you don't hear the music right away, that's because there's a bit of loading time at the beginning of each zone as well. Okay, let's try to get the boom boom segment down because it is right before next checkpoint. Oh, whoops. Say that, of course, just I missed a jump completely. Looks quite manageable, though. I'm not too concerned about it. The jump adjustments are actually much less demanding than in the first part of the level. Or maybe we've just improved. Now I've gotten better at doing these adjustments over the course of playing this. No, I think the second part actually is easier. At least for my skill set. Okay, once again, don't want to outrun the auto-scroll too much, so we don't lose visibility on anything. Now, I don't know if I would have understood those short bounces over Boom Boom mildly on the first attempt. I don't know how friendly that is, but it seemed to work well enough. Okay, this part we need to pull back on that jump. That fall, rather. You made your first music level over summer at K2 Hegemon, but you never posted it because you thought it sounded so bad. Well, I mean, good incentive to work on a second one. Let's let the icicle drop. Punch that switch. Yeah, still trying to pull back on that. Not doing quite as well as I would like. Well, I mean, at least you're sort of at the top of this layout here and not pressured by lava. Since you're not pressured by lava, I can slow down a bit where necessary. Okay, do need to land dead center on top of that Boom Boom. Okay, there we go. Oh, whoops. Lean too far right when bouncing off Boom Boom. I just kind of misjudged the height that I'll be gaining there. Thought I could bounce off him pretty gracefully. Whoops. Alright, up we go. I still spill right over that one. It is a very sudden pullback there, but a subtle one. Interesting use of the thwomps to gate certain areas here as they go up and down on those tracks. I do need to jump there. It's not immediately obvious because of the way you would bump against the ceiling. Controlling my landing direction when I do bump my head on the ceiling is something that I will need to do here and which I need to improve. Let's see if we can do it. Okay, we are a little behind pace here, but we'll catch up. And what do we got here? We've got question block and Master Sword, which gets me what? It allows me to blow stuff up, presumably, like this guy here. It might not be within range. That's okay, we'll just take the axe and go. Mops were there to kill the Mecha Koopas in the first part, and you thought it was neat to reuse them as some timing-based obstacles. Yeah, it works nicely to add a bit of pressure there. Yeah, it took me a while to get used to some of the adjustments in the first section. Also with the way the lava kind of enforces the timing a bit, but in the later auto-scrolls there's quite a lot of opportunity to fall back and catch up if needed. Yeah, that early boom boom landing in the first segment was the one thing that threw me off, but other than that, it seemed to work fairly well, so thank you for all of the levels today, Green Heroes. Managed to get through a pretty big chunk. That is going to be it for this stream. Thank you once again to those who managed to stay past the interruption that we had much earlier. And that will hopefully not happen too often. Same goes for all the sound problems we had near the end, but I guess we blundered our way through to the finish after all was said and done. That's going to be it for this stream. Thanks so much for watching. Mario Maker viewer levels is back pretty much every weekend, although the schedule lately has been a bit irregular. I do post plans on Discord as they develop day to day. We usually do at least one more Mario Maker feature or puzzle stream during the week, and of course we've also been running Baba Is You, which also supports a Maker mode now, as of last week. So if you have any creations, Baba, we will take them. Aside from that, thanks for watching. We will pass you on to somebody else very shortly. And as always, have a great time. Don't forget about finishing the Ninja speedrun if you're into that kind of thing, as that's got 15 hours remaining. And apart from all that, fare thee well.